Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Perfectly Bookish 5. This is my March wrap-up and April TBR. March was a really good month for me. I ended up reading 18 books. 10 of those were ARCs, so I am very thankful to the authors and publishers who let me read those books early. Thank you so much for that. I had one 5-star read this month, and that was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I do not have the book here with me. My mom has it, so she can read it. And I loved Haymitch's story. I just loved getting his background into why he is the guy that we all knew, and I love how Woody Harrelson plays Haymitch's character in the movies, and that really is what made me fall in love with Haymitch in the first place, is Woody Harrelson's portrayal of him. And the way that Haymitch gets picked for the games is so incredibly sad, and he keeps saying he doesn't think like he is good enough while he is there, but he helps so many people, and finding out things that happen to his family and why he just wants to drink all the time. I just loved his background. I really don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away for anyone, but let me know if you ended up reading it and what you think about it. And I'm pretty sure we are getting a movie on this one. I really hope so. Just all the more kids in the games being the second quarter quell, and I hope Suzanne keeps giving us some more characters, which it was cool in this book that we did get hints of characters that we saw in the other, or I was gonna say other Hunger Games books, but I should say original Hunger Games books. You see them dabbled a little bit throughout Haymitch's story, and I really want to get Phoenix and Joanna's story. I think that would be really fun, and from what I've seen, there's been really good reviews on this book, so I hope that encourages her to give us more background stories. Another book that I enjoyed this month was Blades of Fury by Emily Irdos and Dia Muniz, and this comes out in May. I do have a review up here on my channel, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but in this book we have our two main characters. This is battle skating, so it's not just ice skating competitions. There is battling involved where you could grab someone's skate and fling them across the ice, and these two are not supposed to go against each other, but someone gets hurt, so there's a replacement. And while they are battling, a secret is revealed for one of our characters, and things go from there. So watch my review if you're interested. This does come out in May, and I would recommend it. And I just want to show you guys the pictures, the pictures in this book, which I really liked as well. Thank you to Novel. I tried winning this book and I won, and I'm very glad I did because it was an enjoyable read. Other books I read this month, I got my reading journal here. Call Me Teach by S.J. Silvis. This is a novella, so it's a very quick read. If You Love Me by Helena Hunting. That is the 4th book in the Toronto Terror series, and it is my favorite so far. We get like the dad of the group, so there is an age gap there. It is a hockey romance. Always Mine by Laura Pavlov. We Are One. Now, I did buy some children's books by school. I had our book fair that we have every March during our conferences, so these next 3 are kids books. We Are One by Raissa Figueroa and Nina Mata, who also wrote Wash They Love, which I got along with, sorry I lost my place, Tanisha Moore, and then Carita Felina by Carmen Agra and Henry Cole. The Carita Felina, do I have it over here? No, I think I put him away, but there was a cat on the cover. It was in the sale part for $3. So like a cat, I gotta get it. It supports my school, and I didn't like it. That was my lowest rating of the month for my reads, and it is like the books. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. A fry would be normal. Then it just took a darker turn for a kid's book, And let's see, then we have Beg, Borrow, and Steal by Sarah Adams, Buried Dreams by Natasha Madison, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Sarah Nye, Heart of Thorns by S. Mastery and S.J. Silvis, The Venom We Bleed by Lucy Smoke, Misfortune by Jay Cronover. I haven't read a Jay book in so long, so it was fun getting back into Jay's writing. In this book, our main character owns a resort in the mountains. She's trying to keep it going, and there is a guy who she stumbles along. I think he was hitchhiking, and she offered him a place to stay if he could do some fix-ups around the resort. And it is in a deeper part of the mountains, so it's not as luxurious if you are just kind of going for the Instagram kind of resort vacation in the mountains, if you get what I'm saying. And then there is some mysterious stuff happening, and it's not good things. They don't know who is doing it. People are trying to buy her out of her resort for land to do other stuff with it, and there is trouble brewing because she doesn't want to sell it, and there's reasons it was her grandparents, and people are trying to get her out. So that part was interesting. You have the mystery in the story as well. Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. This is her second generation from the Off Campus series. And of course, Sunrise and the Reaping, Blades of Fury. I always want to say Fury, but it's fur because it's animals. Immortal Sun by Rachel Van Dyken. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. And then My Dark Fairy Tale by Gianna Darling. Enjoyed this book because we have our main female character who finally is doing something for herself. She has a medical condition, and her parents have always really kept an eye on her, and her sister got to go out do all these different things that she wanted, traveled abroad, but her parents were a lot more hesitant to ever let her try to do something. And she finally saves enough money and she goes to Italy, and she does that, tell her parents. Her dad does not want her to go there, which she doesn't understand. He is from there, and it has always been her dream since she's been a little kid to go there because she wants to learn about her family's history. So she tells them she's backpacking around Europe. She's 22, 23 years old. Her first day there, she gets attacked, and she runs through this cornfield, and on the other side she runs into a road. She gets hit by a car, and she tells the person who hit her what is going on. He ends up taking her home. Unbeknownst to her, there's a body in the trunk of this guy's car. She thinks he is saving her, but he does have a dark side. He is actually head of his mafia branch in Italy. So there is a lot of interesting stuff going on there. This book comes out on April 8th, and I would definitely recommend it. So to go into books I want to read in April, there are a few I really need to check off my list because I am going to Wild and Windy in Chicago in May, and there are a few books that I need to read before then. Well, not need to, but I would like to before I go up to those authors. I started out with, I want to say 10 authors that I wanted to see at the event, and 5 ended up having to drop out for one reason or another. So it made it less of a rush for me to read certain books because there were some of those authors that dropped. I had like 5 or 6 books I wanted to read of theirs. So in that respect, it made it a little easier. I am bummed, but you know, life happens, stuff changes, so you can't always make it to the events. And those books are, this is Falling by Ginger Scott. I never read a book by Ginger before, so let me know if you've read this or read Ginger, what your thoughts are on this author. And I saw this at my half price books, and knowing that she was the author that was going to be there, I thought, why not? I like giving new authors a try, especially when I'm going to signings. I like reading a bunch of new to me authors because sometimes you never know the chance if you're going to meet that author again, and it's just fun to add new favorite authors to your list of the authors you already enjoy reading. Melissa Ivers is also going to be a new to me author. This is The Forbidden Devil, and what intrigued me to this author is the hockey. I love hockey romance. Sports romance is one of my top genres, and hockey is always number one. I have always enjoyed hockey from the get-go. When I was a kid, my first hockey game was actually through my brother's Boy Scout troop, and because families got to go, and then since then my dad and I had gone to games when I went to college. I met somebody who she and her family also liked hockey, and I still go to hockey games. We have an AHL team in my town, the Milwaukee Emeralds, so hockey is always going to be something I gravitate towards, and when I can find new hockey romance authors, I'm putting them on my list. Then we have Alice's Adventures in Underland, and I love the cover of this. So this seems like it's going to be a creepy Alice in Wonderland retelling. I'm not exactly sure. I just liked how it looked, and this would be a new to me author, C.M. Stunick, and like I said, I just love the cover, and that's what intrigued me in the first place. Lastly, we have Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare. This came out in March, and I have been waiting to read it because I was waiting for the hold to become available on the Libby app on my phone. Libby is something that is through my local library, and I was on hold for the audiobook. I wanted to give the audiobook a try. I did actually read and annotate the first book in the series, so I don't know why I just didn't dive into this one right away, but I can read along with it if I'd like. But I am excited to dive into this book. I don't remember if it is a duology. I think there's going to be more, but the Rag Picker King is a character we get in the first book. Not too much about him. He is just the guy who runs the streets and is in charge with all the shenanigans that happens there. And in the first book we find out he has more connections than you think, and some of those connections, like, why are they there and what is going on behind them. So I'm really interested to see what we get from this character. Sorry, I forgot to say I have 2 arcs that I need to read as well. One of them is Wicked Love by Willow Astor. This is, I believe it's book 4 in the Single Dad playbook series, and I'm really loving getting glimpses of each of the dads and their kids. The series has really been fun so far, and I'm excited for this next couple. I forgot if I didn't say it, but it's gonna come out on April 8th, and then, no, April 10th, excuse me. Then on April 8th, Wildest Dreams by LJ Shen will also release, and I have that as an arc to read as well. Alright guys, I think that is all I have for you today. Let me know some of your favorite reads from March and what you are really looking forward to reading in April. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!